Hey fam! So welcome to another Motivational Monday video. And yes, as you can see, halata naman, I'm not in my usual setup. And that's because I'm in Baguio for the weekend. So yeah, I'm filming dito sa hotel namin. And I'm in the fireplace. I'm in Camp John Hay. So yeah, I'm just taking advantage of the nice place to film this Motivational Monday. So for this week's video, I'm going to talk about being overwhelmed. Yeah, kasi I think relate ako dun sa topic na yun. Especially like, that's what I've been feeling the past few weeks lot because yun nga, like, ang dami nangyayari and dami ka rin like iniisip. So yeah, of course I'd like get overwhelmed. Kasi yeah, I'm going through a lot actually, to be honest. And yeah, it's Lazaro 1 season, so every week talaga, every week, you know, I have to wake up early, and then I have so much schedules that I have to follow, and yeah, having to balance it all with my classes and all my ACADS and all the other things. So like, it's very overwhelming for me because, you know, it's a lot to handle. But I know that, I don't know if a lot of people already know this, but for me, I think there are two kinds of like being overwhelmed. Like when you say you're overwhelmed, that could mean that it's something good, but at the same time, it could also mean it's something bad. So, okay, like, I'll talk about the good one first. Like, because usually, you know, like when people say they're overwhelmed, like sometimes it's a good thing because, you know, like they're so overwhelmed with like the love and support of their family. And that's when being overwhelmed is good. Because actually, I was able to experience that today, like just a while ago, before filming this video, because a while ago, my cousins, my titas and titos, and you know, my other relatives, they're all here. And in my dad's side of the family kasi, parang uso sa amin yung performing. So, yun, I have really cute cousins who perform all the time. And then today, like after dinner, I don't know, like biglaan lang, like they were like cheering for me to perform, and I never really done that before. But then, and okay, like medyo na-overwhelmed lang talaga ako sa parang support nila sa akin because it reached a point like everyone in the room was just cheering, or like, you know, yeah, they were all like cheering for me. Buti na lang, like, I was prepared to like dance. So yeah, that's what I did, and like it's just very overwhelming for me because, you know, like they all wanted to see me, you know, do something like that, or like parang share my talent, ganun. Like I was very overwhelmed with the love and support that they were all giving me kasi in my dad's side of the family, like growing up, I was one of the shy ones, or like tahimik ako pagkasama ko sila. So parang ngayon, like, yun, now that they see that I'm vlogging, and then yun, they also know how I'm very active in my orgs. So yun, na-share ko yun sa kanila, and yun nga, like even my titas and titas were subscribing to my channel and even promoting it to my other cousins. Parang very overwhelming yun sa akin because doing what I do is not always easy, but what keeps me going is really all the love and support that I get from my parents and from everyone else in my family. So yeah. And then the bad side, I mean the bad type of being overwhelmed is when, you know, when you say you're overwhelmed with schoolwork, with all your ACADS, with the workload, all your deadlines, and, you know, anything that you can think of that stresses you out. That's the bad part of being overwhelmed. And for me, that's what I've been feeling lately because, yeah, having to balance SLA and CYA, my two orgs. So like, SLA being the team leader for the Lazaro one, and then in CYA how we have an ongoing event as well. It's the Christian Life series where it happens every Thursday, and I'm part of the documentations committee for that. So, like, it's a lot to handle because I still have to balance it with studying and all the other things that are expected from me. So yeah, balancing gets really tough, and also because I'm experiencing things na I haven't been able to really I haven't been able to really talk about it. Not because hindi ko siya gusto pag-usapan, but more of I don't get to talk about it because even I myself don't understand it. Kasi nga a lot of things are happening with my relationship with my friends and all those around me. A lot are happening, ang daming nagbabago, things are really changing. And when it comes to what I feel inside or what I'm thinking of, hindi ko rin siya maintindihan. So it's very overwhelming na I have so many thoughts, have so many feelings na hindi ko maintindihan. And then I still have my ACADS, I still have org work, other commitments of mine. So I think what I can just say about it, if ever you're also going through that phase, or if you're just going through the same thing as me right now at this point in your life, I think it's good to take a break. I know that's kind of weird for me to say because even it's not that I don't do it, but I forget to do it. Not always, but more often than not, I always need to be reminded to take a break, to pause, and to rest. So yeah, but then I know it's very important because when I actually get to do it, it really helps. And then I think one thing also is that you should have an outlet for it. For me, it's hard. Usually my outlet is always talking to people that I trust about what I'm going through, and yeah, basta talk about it just to let it out. But in my case now, where I have a hard time talking about it because I don't understand it, I have to find different ways. For me, it's doing more volunteer work, I suppose, and basically doing activities that I love. So there I have vlogging, that's why I'm doing this, and then I have I like writing, so I do that a lot as well. But find something that you love doing where you can express what you feel inside, even when you don't understand it. Somehow you get to release something that you have in your mind or in your heart. It's very helpful when you get to release those things because it's never good to keep everything inside of you because one day you might just explode, and it's really not healthy to keep things inside all the time. So I think also if you're overwhelmed with your requirements or with things that are very stressful, with work, with school, or whatever that may be, I think it's good to keep yourself busy with things you enjoy. For me, because even if I get really stressed with org sometimes, my org at the same time is also the one that's very supportive and that helps me go through with there's a lot of work in SLA, but then I also have another org which is CYA, which is where I get to kind of I see CYA as as the place where I can breathe, if you guys get that. Even if I also have work to do for CYA, it's more of my breather. So I like to keep myself busy because since I have all these thoughts and feelings that I don't understand, I'd rather not think about it. So for me, since I'm overwhelmed with thoughts and feelings that I don't understand, I just figured it's best for me if I don't think about it, because if I do, I just make things more complicated. So you also have to see like what approach is best for you. So always recognize what are you overwhelmed with. And let's say if you're overwhelmed with doing schoolwork, doing stuff for, to meet your deadlines, I think that's a time when you should take the approach of taking a break, resting, take power naps, or try to get enough sleep as much as possible. And also, like for me, if you're like me who's overwhelmed with thoughts and feelings, it's good to just get up and go do activities that you love, because sometimes when you have thoughts and feelings you don't understand, I think it's better when you just keep yourself busy and don't make yourself think about it, so that things don't get more complicated and you don't also give yourself a reason to be stressed. So there. And then, so yeah, recognize what's making you feel overwhelmed. Try to see if it's good or bad, because when it's good, you don't really need to do anything about it naman. But when it's bad, that's when you really need to do something about it. So after you've recognized what's making you overwhelmed, think about what you're going to do about it, and everything else will just follow. So it just takes a lot of thinking and reflecting, and once you're able to do those things properly, everything else will just follow and you'll be just right on track.